welcome to Key News. This is Braden reporting. And right here, headline, Mind Control by Cellphone by Scientific America. And today I'm basically going to get into the topic of eventually 5G here in a minute. The dangers of 5G and how it can actually alter your perception. Just like this article says, mind control by cell phone. It can basically control your mind, your subconscious mind. Specifically, if you're not in a conscious state, if you want to just do a little preliminary research before you watch this video, look up how to reprogram your subconscious mind. Just on YouTube, and 10 minutes. It's by a doctor. I forgot his name, but it's definitely a good video to listen to. But here we go. Electromagnetic signals from cell phones can change your brain waves and behavior, but don't break out the aluminum foil head shield just yet. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This isn't some, BS. I have some, a couple articles here, not as many as I usually do, because not too many people cover the subject. 5G. I haven't done this yet, but I'm pretty much going to read this whole article. I don't like to read the whole article. I kind of, get the big quotes out of it and read kind of bits and pieces. But this is a big one here, and I'm just going to get right into it here. Mind control by cell phone. Hospitals and airplanes ban the use of cell phones because their I can't say that word for some reason. Electromagnetic transmissions can interfere with sensitive electrical devices. Could the brain also fall into that category? Of course. All our thoughts, sensations, and actions arise from bioelectricity generated by neurons and transmitted through complex neural circuits inside of our skull. Electric signals between neurons generate electric fields and radiate out of brain tissue as electrical waves that can be picked up by electrodes touching a person's scalp. Measurements of such brain waves and EEGs provide powerful insight into brain function and valuable diagnostic tool for doctors. Indeed, so fundamental are brain waves to the internal workings of the mind, they have become the ultimate legal definition, drawing the line between life and death. Brainwaves change the healthy person's conscious and unconscious mental activity and state of arousal. That's why I said watch that subconscious mind video. This is the first time I'm actually reading this article. I just, pulled it up because it was on the Joe Rogan podcast, with Alex Jones, covering 5G and how, like the article is getting into right here, how it can actually control your mind, specifically, your unconscious mental activity. The majority of people are in their subconscious or unconscious mind, over 90% of the time. The majority of people, I'd say, in my opinion, if you watch that, how to reprogram your subconscious mind video. But even in your conscious mind, I'd like to believe I'm in my conscious mind, trying to spread this information, trying to up people's awareness of what's going on in the world. And, basically, this isn't going to be covered by the mainstream media. This is why I'm covering this. I've done the deep research. Well, I'd like to say deep research, as Alex Jones says, but, deep enough to, get at least scratch the surface level of what's going on, or getting a little bit more than surface level. So brainwaves change with a healthy person's conscious and unconscious mental activity and state of arousal, but scientists can do more with brainwaves than just listen in on the brain at work. They can selectively control brain function by transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS. This technique uses powerful pulses of electromagnetic radiation beamed into a person's brain to jam or excite particular brain circuits. Although a cell phone is less powerful than transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS, the question still remains, could the electrical signals coming from a phone affect certain brain waves operating in a resonance with cell phone transmission frequencies? After all, the caller's cerebral cortex is just centimeters away from radiation broadcast from the phone's antenna. Two studies provide some revealing news. The first, led by Rodney Croft of the Brain Science Institute, Swinburne University of Technology in Melbourne, Australia, tested whether cell phone transmission could alter a person's brain waves. The researchers monitored the brainwaves of 120 healthy men and women while a Nokia 6110 cell phone, one of the most popular cell phones in the world, was strapped to their head. A computer controlled the phone's transmissions in a double-blind experiment design, which meant that neither the test subjects nor researchers knew whether the cell phone was transmitting or idle while EEG data were collected. The data showed that when the cell phone was transmitting, the power of the characteristic brain wave patterns called alpha waves in the person's brain was boosted significantly. The increased alpha wave activity was greatest in brain tissue directly beneath the cell phone, strengthening the case that the phone was responsible for the observed effect. And here I'm going to pull up a little graphic here. Hopefully I can pull it up here. I've seen it a couple times. Should have pulled it up before, but just gonna try to search it here. Cell phone. Well, I'm gonna do this. Cell phone increases brain temp. Just gonna try to find it here. This little graphic I've seen before, but I guess I can't find it. But, I mean, you can look this up if you want. I'm not really going to go too much into it there. But, basically, I saw this diagram of, a GIF, whatever you want to call it, with the cell phone to the person's head. And the little graphic, shows the positive and negative ions. And basically, I think it was 15-30 minutes or so. Every time you're talking on the phone for 15 to 30 minutes increases your brain temperature by 1 degree Fahrenheit. That's what I was trying to look for here, but that's fine. I'll let you know right now. Alpha waves of brain. Alpha waves fluctuate at a rate of 8 to 12 cycles per second hertz. These brain waves reflect a person's state of arousal and attention. Alpha waves are generally regarded as an indicator of reduced mental effort, cortical idling, or mind wandering, aka subconscious mind, in my opinion. But this conventional view is perhaps an oversimplification. Croft, for example, argues that the alpha wave is really regulating the shift of attention between external and internal inputs. Alpha waves increase in power when a person shifts his or her consciousness of the external world to internal thoughts. They also are the key brainwave signatures of sleep. Cell phone insomnia. I think you know where this is going. Cell phone. Hold on. Recording all these videos at once. Yes, I'm just trying to drink some water here. Throat's getting kind of tired. I'm only about halfway through, but I'll definitely make it. If cell phone signals boost a person's alpha waves, does this nudge them subliminally into an altered state of consciousness, or have any effect at all on the workings of their mind that can be observed in a person's behavior? In a second study, James Horn and colleagues at the Loughborough University Sleep Research Center in England devised an experiment to test this question. The result was surprising. Not only could the cell phone signals alter a person's behavior during the call, the effects of disrupted brainwave patterns continued long after the phone was switched off. That's why you're hearing, I'd say I've heard it a couple times here. Try not to be on your phone before you go to bed. That's basically what this is saying. If you're on your phone, staring at your phone, at night before you go to bed, looking at Instagram, looking at Facebook, whatever, that's going to affect your sleep. This was a completely unexpected finding, Horn told me. We didn't suspect any effect of EEG after switching off the phone. We were interested in studying the effect of mobile phone signal on sleep itself, but it quickly became obvious to Horn and colleagues in preparing for the sleep research experiments that some of these test subjects had difficulty falling asleep. Horn and his colleagues controlled a Nokia 310E cell phone. Another popular and basic phone attached to the head of 10 healthy but sleep-deprived men in their sleep research lab. Their sleep has been restricted to 6 hours of the previous night. The researchers then monitored the men's brainwaves by EEG, while the phone was switched on and off by a remote computer, and also switched between standby, listen, and talk modes of operation for 30-minute intervals on different nights. The experiment revealed that after the phone was switched to talk mode, a different brainwave pattern called the delta waves in the range of 1 to 4 hertz remained dampened for nearly 1 hour after the phone was shut off. Delta, that is your REM sleep, your deep sleep, the sleep that you really need to get to when you're sleeping, the deepest, most serene part where you're dreaming. That's the delta. And that's the part that I love to be in. I love to be dreaming. I don't want that hindered. When you're dreaming, you can do anything you want. Recently in my lucid dreaming, I've, definitely been doing a lot of lucid dreaming and remembering my dreams, which I haven't before. That's because I keep my cell phone away from me at night. I don't keep it near my head. Although this research shows that cell phone transmissions can affect a person's brainwaves with persistent effects on behavior, Horn does not feel that there is any need for concern that cell phones are damaging. I don't believe that. The arousal effects the research measured are equivalent to about half a cup of coffee, and many other factors in a person's surroundings. I don't like that part, honestly. Honestly, I don't believe that. I said I would read the whole thing, but you kind of get the picture. That's kind of the most of it here. 5G technology, a health crisis waiting to happen. 5G technology involves a nationwide rollout, thousands of antennas used in conjunction with blah blah blah, FCC. However, operations of this new higher frequency electromagnetic spectrum range has never been evaluated for how it will impact humans or animals in the environment. What about children? They are more susceptible than adults because their smaller bodies taking in higher EMF radiation, electromagnetic frequency, I believe. I don't believe I pulled up this article, but I'm going to search it right now, and this is basically what I just read here. Children are more susceptible to the 5G radiation. So I'm going to look up 5G school cancer. That's all I'm going to look up here. That's all you need to search. Cell phone tower causing cancer. Oh, here it is. Here's the real headline. Parents demand removal of cell tower from elementary school after 4 students and 3 teachers develop cancer. So, here's the proof. They're trying to put the cell phone towers near schools, the big tech companies, Huawei, not Huawei in the U.S., but Huawei in China, one of the bigger ones there, whoever put this tower up. Diagnosis of tumors in children and adults push upset parents to take action. Do not ignore the health dangers involved to toxic indoor air. I don't know why I read that. Here we go. Parents throw down gauntlet before a school board. Remove tower or shut down school. Cell phone towers invade residential neighborhoods. Proponents of 5G claim the new wireless network will offer increase in data speed and capacity. Whoopee, you can download a video 2 seconds or pull it up 2 seconds quicker. Yeah, I'd rather take cancer, pull it up faster. EMF radiation is being linked to genetic damage, birth defects, plus many of other health issues. Well, there you go right there. CIA admits they are spying on you through your appliances, 5G internet. Come on. Just look at this graphic here. Electronic concentration camp. That's basically what we're in. Cell phones, smart TVs, smart refrigerators, Alexa devices that are listening to 24/7, your smart TV that's listening to 24/7. Your phone, Siri, Google Assist that's listening to you 24/7. CIA chief will spy on you through your dishwasher. Exactly. Is 5G dangerous? There's another article. 5G networks use same frequency as pain-inflicting crowd control weapons. The rollout of 5G technologies is a massive health experiment. We are the guinea pigs that will have just disastrous consequences for the human race, according to the first major university study into the controversial wireless service. And a coalition of 200 leading scientists and doctors are calling for an urgent stop to the rollout. 5G is being rolled out fast right now, with the FCC waiting for governmental standards, with Verizon testing it out in 11 U.S. cities, and AT&T also conducting experiments. Here's a summary right here. 5G will penetrate material objects better, thanks to brilliant engineers, quote. 5G radiation will be harder to shield yourself against. 5G will be infrastructure intensive. The plan is to erect even more radiation towers in every corner of the planet, adding a new meaning to the concept of electromagnetic soup. I like that one. 5G will make tens of billions of dollars for its owners through uncapacitated and unintended consequences. After this point, Wheeler slams his first fist on the podium, says, "That's damn important. 5G is going to go ahead without the FCC waiting for governmental standards. 5G will require the sharing of frequencies with the military." Sounds peachy. 5G is a technological basis for IoT. All parts of Earth will be covered, so there will be the urban and rural radiation saturation. The ultimate technological control grid. Like all other things in the New World Order, 5G can be understood on many levels. I think that's enough for that one. So what is the agenda here? Well, this last article, I'm going to kind of cover this. The Land Where the Internet Ends, from the New York Times. The New York Times covered where the land where the internet ends. To find real solitude, you have to go out of range, but every year that's harder to do. As America's off-the-grid places disappear, like this rollout of 5G, these big tech, big tech companies, the owners like Mark Zuckerberg, all these high, rich people, they're buying land, and this is Green Bank, West Virginia. That's where this land is. There's no cell phones whatsoever, no radio signals, because they know the effects of it. I mean, why else, do they want, not want it there? A few weeks ago, I drove down a back road in West Virginia into a parallel reality. Sometime after I passed Spruce Mountain, my phone lost service, and I knew it would remain comatose for the next few days. While I spun the dial on the car radio, static roared out of every channel. I had entered a national radio quiet zone. 13,000 square miles of mountainous terrain with few cell phone towers and other transmitters. And I think I'll cover it for there. It's enough coverage for this. And, if I do make another video, I'll go a little bit more in depth, but definitely do your own research as well. Figure out what's happening. That's what I'm trying to do. Hopefully, if you're watching this, hope you maybe look into it a little bit more than I have, and, figure out exactly what's going on. And thanks for watching.